Alright, so, as someone who sells stuff online, a lot of stuff, to a lot of different people, I know a bit about customer service. The one thing I do want to tell you from the start is most customers are actually pleasant people. There's this stigma around customer service that, well, all the customers you're going to deal with are going to be plunkers, right? And that is true sometimes, but it's not most of the time. Most of the time, you're very reasonable, understanding people. So don't get nervous or scared about customer service, okay? It's not that scary, it's not that complicated. The number one rule is the customer's happiness. I understand that sounds cliche, and it is, but it's true. The customer has a lot of power nowadays. On the internet, you can gain customers very quickly, and you can also lose customers very quickly. The easiest way to get a bad review on a forum, a website, or whatever is poor customer service because the customer's going to feel abandoned and, they're going to have to go vent somewhere else. So, what I do personally is because my profit margins are very high, I usually just refund the item blank. So, they buy something, right? And something's wrong with it. Could be anything, could be a very small thing, could be a bigger thing. I just say, okay, refund. No return necessary, keep it. And this is a very pleasant surprise for the customers because, well, they weren't expecting that, were they? They were expecting a long return process. Oh, you gotta box it up, whatever. This is a great way to make your customers feel good. Your customers feel good when they keep an item for free, right? Now, I understand for some business models this is impossible. You can't just refund. You can't refund an item fully. That's $100 that you get for like 90, right? The profit margin is so small. So in those cases, I would just try to make the return process as smooth as possible. Try to give them a discount code. Try to make something, just make it something beyond a regular return. That's a great way to make your customers feel happy. Also, be very reassuring to your customers. Even if you're just doing a basic return, even if you're just checking up something for them, make it sound like you really care and you're really putting effort in. Kind of want to put a little extra on it, right? Don't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna check your order number." Blah blah blah. It's like, I'll make sure I'll have the right order number for you. Don't worry, I have it under control. Something like that, right? Maybe not like that, but you get the point. You want to make it very clear that your customers can put trust in you and that you're working really hard for them. They like that. Now, another obvious one is return time. I know. Duh, right? But a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many business owners have such slow response times. And this can even lose you sales. So, especially when a potential customer is trying to message you about something, you want to respond like that. All right, because they might leave your website and go buy from somewhere else in the time you took to respond. You want to secure that money down, especially if it's a new customer. Because remember, returning customers are a thing. You could have lost, depending on your lifetime value. Like if you're a supplement brand, losing a customer out that way is very bad because the lifetime value of a customer is so high. And all business models usually have lifetime values of customers that are higher than just one sale. So when you think about response times, don't just, well, I'll respond later. No, 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 no. You're losing a lot of money when you do that. You need to respond like that, quick, as soon as you can. Now, of course, I'll address the situations where you're dealing with plunkers. Alright, it's much easier over email, but over phone, understanding can be a bit difficult. So, it depends a bit on the business model. If it's a potential customer, don't be af- don't be afraid to professionally say piss off, leave me alone, go somewhere else. Professionally, don't actually say that. Maybe you should. That would make for a pretty funny story, but it's probably in your best interest not to do that. But obviously, if it's a customer, you can't really do that. So in that case, you just have to ride the storm, stay as calm as possible, and don't give them any reason to go like, they were so rude to me over the phone. Don't give them an opportunity to do that. All right. And if your business model is a service one, like say for example, I know people who do pool businesses, right? In that case, I would say you can fire a customer if they're really giving you that much of a hard time. Obviously, if there's a really high ticket customer, maybe you allocate more resources to making sure they're happy. But if they're just a Joe Schmo customer, right? Don't be afraid to fire them if they're being plunkers all the time, right? Not worth the time. Just find another customer. You're a businessman. You can find customers whenever you want, right? So, to close, don't underestimate the importance of customer service. As I said, you can gain customers very quickly with good reviews on internet, and those usually come from great customer service or just great service in general. But you can also lose customers very quickly with poor reviews on internet.